To give sort of my perspective in my 15 minutes, I think that I would like to tell you how it is that I came into this world, because 8 years ago, I couldn't even spell AR, VR, right? I knew nothing about this. I'm not a super tech nerd or anything. But what happened is I spent my life as a surgeon, and I saw this, and it immediately spoke to me as something I've been frankly fantasizing about for years. So let me tell you the story. As I said, I spent my life as a surgeon, and then I went to business school, and that created all sorts of interesting opportunities. And I ended up running an incubator in New Haven. So I had this very fun job of sitting and listening to people pitch healthcare tech companies in the New Haven community. And one day, in walks the guy who is now my partner, Ted Dinsmore, and he has a HoloLens 1, which for those of us in the industry is now basically a dinosaur. I don't think any of us would even tolerate having it on, but at the time it was pretty astounding. And he put it on my head and he pulled up a heart. And I'm sitting inside the left ventricle looking up through the aortic valve, just completely losing my mind. I could not believe what he was showing me. In fact, it became a bit of a joke because I kept accusing him that it was fake. I said, this can't, you don't understand. This couldn't really be from a CT. You had to make this. He said, no, this is actually made from a CT scan. So I was just completely impressed with this, because as a surgeon, this is what I was looking for. I'm not sure how many people sort of realize the way that the nuts and bolts of how it works when you're doing what we call an image-guided procedure. So you're in an operating room or a procedure room, and you're going to do a procedure, and you're going to be looking at imaging to help guide you while you're doing that. And that's a big swath of procedures these days. We are very dependent on the imaging for doing our procedures. But the problem is we did not have a slick way of doing that. So you'd be in the operating room, head down, concentrating on your case. And then if you want to look at the imaging, you'd have to stand up, walk across the room. You're scrubbed, you can't touch anything. You have to have somebody sort of go through the computer for you. It's very, very inconvenient. So just the idea of having the imaging available right in front of me without even having to lift my head right there was amazing. But to be able to view structures in this way, in a way that I'd never been able to stand behind the heart and look up at the pulmonary veins, it just gave me an extraordinary perspective. So